Let's see, where we're talking about spiritual shock. We're talking about this awareness. We're talking about living on an asteroid. We're talking about the Conaway globe. So I came when I came across the information that the map of the world, the map of the planet Earth, is not accurately, is not drawn accurately to size, but is drawn accurately to perspective upon a sphere or spheroid. A sphere is a ball or egg, okay, or an egg, let's say, or an irregular, could be a circle, irregular circle, whatever, sphere. I don't know if you would call a cube a sphere. I don't know if you could call a cube. Could a cube be a specialized sphere? This is going into philosophy, which we don't have to deal with that at this minute. See, you could say 360 degrees, you could say circle, or you could say square. So 360 degrees equals a circle, equals a square, equals two triangles, which one could be pointing up, one could be pointing down, they could be interlaced. See, symbology. Anyway, so with this Conaway globe, I said, wait a minute, water moves. They had a book. It really was very interesting. This was, and this is going back. We're going to go back to this Egyptian knowledge again, the flood and everything. So the Bible says that the Lord say won't destroy the planet next time by water, by fire. Why not by water? Well, because man got so slick. We said, you know what? We're not gonna have this. So what we did was drain the water off the planet. What do you mean drain the water off the planet? Well, the water table is down, right? So where's all the water? Well, the water is in your house, in the pipes for heating, in your automobiles, in cans with vegetables, in bottles of bottled water. So you drain all of that off. So now the hurricanes that happen can't be as violent because it's not the same amount of water. In other words, if you fill your tub all the way up with water to the top, but not won't overflow, then let's say the hurricane comes, all you have to do is skim your hand across the top and water will whoosh out. So now you take and scoop some water out, put it in a bucket, and another bucket, and another bucket, and another bucket, another container, right? Bottled water and all of this here. And next thing you know, you have half of a tub of free flowing water, uncontrolled water, middle of the ocean. Can't flood. Well, it can, but it's not as violent, right? So for now, you're having something weird happen. So you can't figure out this. You got to put this weirdness together. So the question, then they're going to throw you. Wait a minute, hold up. Excuse me. How they get those stones all the way up there? Yeah, right. Go to my website, www.spiritualshockoneword.com. An enigma solved. Yeah, right. Anyway, based on the tic-tac-toe, not the tic-tac-toe, the checkerboard. Why is the checkerboard so important? Well, you You start assigning different meanings for the different pieces. Huh? Right. The Hoover Dam. It'll make sense to you what I'm talking about. You go to my site, you get that book. Oh, well then why was he talking about the checkerboard? Because that's how you have to do it. If not, it's the Hoover Dam. You can't do it all at once because it's going to be too much. Right. Now you have to go into building construction. Theories like that. Right. But at the same time, that's a whole nother lecture. It's a whole nother lecture. Now you have the beginning of forts, houses, picnics, cities, dwellings. It's a whole nother level. Apartments. Yeah, penthouse. I want to be in on the penthouse. Right. It's a whole nother science I'm talking about. Okay. So now you get this globe, you go to the store, get a globe. When it tells you, you fill the globe up with, this is what I said, fill the globe up with foam. Take the globe off of the stand, fill it up with foam, let the foam get hard in it. Now, the hard part is where you have something like the Himalayas that go up. That's going to be hard. But it doesn't have to be. Okay? It doesn't have to be. What you can do is you take the highest thing, the highest point on this spheroid. I don't know if that's the Himalayas or what, but it might be. You're going to turn that into the highest level. Okay? Then you fill it with foam. Then you're going to double it. You're going to double it. When I say double it, let's say you're 10,000 feet up, right? So 10,000 feet. Let's say you're 12,000 feet up. So 12,000 feet equals an inch. So when you get to sea level, you're going to have to drill down. You're going to have to drill down an inch deep, right? So you get a router, drill all around, right on the shore, all the way around and all around, right? Then where you keep going down, when you get 24,000 feet below sea level, then that's going to be 2 inches. Then you router like that. So once you're done, right? Once you're done, you might make a progression. You might say, I have the Himalayas, which is going to be 0. Then I have at the 12,000 feet, which is going to be an inch or whatever. And then at the 24, which is going to be 2 inches, and then you do it like that. Well, you see how deep you go, so you might go, I don't know, 24, you might go 48. Well, I think it's more like something like double the Himalayas height in depth at the bottom of the ocean. But whatever it is, you don't know what to do. Because if the distance between, the distance between the highest point and sea level, if that's 1 inch, if it's 3 times as far between, if the footage is 3 times as much, okay, for example, if from sea level to the highest point, if you call that 1, that 1 is represented by an inch. If it's 3 times that deep at the bottom of the ocean, then that's 3 inches. And you take your drill bit 3 inches and you go down 3 inches. And you everywhere that is that deep. Then you come around and you adjust it so far and so on. And therefore, at the end, once you trimmed it all up, you got it all trimmed out, you have the Conaway globe. And that's going to be the Conaway asteroid. Because water is not solid. Water moves. Water can evaporate. Like, all the water can't evaporate. See, it's not real science because how can... Well, okay, well, let's deal with some real science then. Remember Batman, the movie? The original movie, where they dehydrated everything? Well, suppose they dehydrate the water, right? And take it and put it on another. Suppose they scoop up all the water off this planet and take it up and put it on the moon. Create an artificial environment. No. Isn't that what they showed you in the Star Trek, whatever it's before? When they created the whole new planet using James James T. Kirk Tiberius, which is Roman. Oh, when they used James Tiberius Kirk's son's DNA to whatever you want to call it, germinate the planet, fertilize the planet. They used the DNA and then they set the thing off around the planet. Right. So you could take all the water theoretically off. Now, once you take all the water off the planet, they're showing you that on the globe, so take all the blue off. Just pretend for a moment. I was saying on the Conaway globe, you should have a globe where you can take all the water off and say, see, or it have an acrylic, and that's cool. A nice acrylic part where you can take all these pieces off. Say, look, this is what you floating on an asteroid that's locked into an orbit. Therefore, that's going to change your reality and give you spiritual shock. What's up, Doc? You see? You silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. Remember? Freddy Krueger said that. In one of those Nightmare on Elm Street, he said, oh, the kid was beating him up or something. He said, you know what? Tricks are for kids. Uh-oh. He played along with, doing tricks. Hey, man. Silly goose. See you in a few.